I will be vehemently in favor of a two-question survey. And that's what I want to know, if my colleagues agree with me or not.
That's Palm Coast Vice Mayor Eddie Branchino just before he stormed off the dais after asking his fellow council members to agree with him on a standalone survey that would ask city residents how they feel about multifamily housing. If he had his way, the two questions would ask, are you in favor of multifamily housing developments in the city? And are you in favor of the city allowing single-family homes to be built on various lot sizes from 25 feet to 80 feet? Branchino, who proposed a failed moratorium on multifamily housing earlier this year, made it clear how he feels about the issue, saying Palm Coast is going to be more like Newark, New Jersey, where he hails from.
We will have affordable housing. Oh, yes, we will, as soon as people no longer want to move to Palm Coast. I invested all my life savings in a home over here in Palm Coast because I thought that I was going to get rid of the Newarks of my life. And if we keep on building this, we're going to have a Newark over here. And if you want to know where the crime has risen the most here in Palm Coast, don't look more than 300-400 yards away from City Hall. There are people in this room right here who lived in the Bronx and lived in other places. And they know what's living in multifamily homes are. This is why we should ask the people of Palm Coast, do we want this or not? I'm here on the side of people. I'm saying this on the side of people. And if you think anything different than what I'm thinking, then you're not on the side of people. You're on the side of something else.
Councilman Ed Danko says he'd prefer including questions on multifamily housing on a larger survey about city growth.
I think it's a waste of time and money. If you want to put these questions in our annual survey, I'm good with that. But a standalone, really don't see any point because it's not going to give us an accurate response.
Councilman John Finelli echoed Danko's concerns.
I would have a concern with us just asking people two questions, knowing that the people that will respond are going to be people that are probably on either side of that issue, compared to a more generalized survey where you're going to get a more comprehensive view of everybody in the community.
That's when Branchino erupted.
I don't belong here. I'll rethink my future of today because I don't belong here. I don't want to do this to the people of Palm Coast. I don't belong here. I'm going to think with my family of what I want to do being here and not caring for the people of Palm Coast, because that's exactly what you're doing. And let me think about my future, sir.
Danko called Branchino's behavior embarrassing.
We were a little bit stunned this morning by the behavior of one of our council members. And for someone who talks about how we can disagree respectfully all the time, I thought what we saw this morning was just not quite that. Bit childish, I thought, and it's unfortunate.
Vice Mayor Eddie Branchino said he'll make a decision on his future by the end of next week. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, US 1 St. Augustine, here to wow you. A traffic stop in Flagler County ends a multi-state crime spree.
Sheriff Rick Staley says it started with a traffic stop on Interstate 95.
Deputy Kyle Gaddy stopped the vehicle for driving too slow in the passing lane. During the investigation, he noticed the rented vehicle had a stolen tag on it from South Carolina, and he recovered property that had been stolen in car burglaries in South Carolina and Clay County, Florida. It's a great job by Deputy Gaddy stopping this guy on his way back to South Florida before he could prey on our community.
Staley says the suspect is facing multiple charges, along with a Pompano Beach probation violation. The suspect is being held on no bond. The investigation is continuing by authorities in South Carolina to South Florida. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Rich Petchke.
It's Christmas in July in Flagler Beach.
The Flagler Beach Police Department is proud to announce that the popularity of the annual Toys for Tickets program, which inspired last year's Christmas in July, is returning this year. Flagler Beach Police Chief Matt Downey.
Basically, it's a program where officers have the ability to write written warnings for minor traffic offenses or parking offenses, and then they hand out what we call a toy voucher. Basically lets the motorists know that, hey, this is a minor infraction. You're going to get this warning regardless if you participate. The program's 100% voluntary, and if you can find it in your heart to donate an unwrapped new toy, all the toys go to children in Flagler County.
Beginning Sunday, July 10th and continuing through the end of the month, Flagler Beach Police Department officers will be issuing the toy waivers. At the end of the campaign, the police department will turn over all donated toys to the partner in this initiative, Christmas Come True. If you would like to participate, just drop off a new unwrapped toy Monday through Friday between 8 a.m. and 5 o'clock at Flagler Beach Police Department on South Flagler Avenue. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Karen Johnson.
You might call it learning from a crisis.
Advent Health Palm Coast Chief Operating Officer Wally Dacchino said that they learned during the pandemic that Flagler Palm Coast Hospital needed more convertible rooms for COVID patients. He said that's what they're planning at Parkway Hospital.
One of the things that we learned that actually happened when this hospital was built is creating the ability to turn additional rooms into ICU rooms. So they can have not only the space, but all of the medical gas and everything else that's needed for that room to become an ICU.
Dacchino said they have 20 rooms in the new hospital that'll be licensed as ICU rooms, but there could easily be more rooms if they're needed in an emergency. The new Parkway Hospital is set to open in the spring of 2023. Flagler Health Matters is on the radio on Saturday mornings at 11:30 and anytime on the Flagler radio app. Tomorrow, how big is Advent Health Flagler Palm Coast Parkway Hospital? From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.